Welcome to Release to Results. This is the Course in Miracles series. Today we're on lesson 152, The Power of Decision is My Own. And all we're doing is releasing what isn't true. So if there's any holding on to anything, if you release it, really release it, and it's still there, it's probably true. If you let go of what's not true, if you let go of falsity, all that remains is truth. And the power of decision is my own. This lesson is saying, well, you created all of this through your decision. All of this, Holy Spirit, I created everything that's going on through my decision. Yes, all of it. And do not be dismayed if the appearances of what you have created is other than you might consciously prefer today as you journey through the Course in Miracles and come to the truth that you are, an experience of that. You can make a decision to be what you are instead of all of these fantasies and illusions which you may be perceiving and taking as real when they are not. This is good news because if you're like me, you perceived a great many things in the world that maybe don't seem like it's what I want or what I chose. And to come in humility to the power that God has bestowed upon you and turn things over to God, turn it over, flip what things appear as to what's really there, and allow the truth and decisions made now in truth. Today, I decide to see the truth. I value only what is valuable. I do not value what is valueless. I seek the truth. These lessons have been preparing us for this, if you've been following along with us. And the truth is that I am the Son of God, you are the Son of God, and that your function here is to light the world, to dispel the shadows, the despair, the belief in sin and guilt and torment, to dispel that for yourself, and to dispel, and in doing so, healing yourself and all of the world through the grace and the presence that is. So we're going to look at decision today and resisting, refusing, denying the truth. It's unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, not to make right or wrong of it. It's what's going on all the time. This morning we were releasing on lies, and there's all this make wrong of lies and lying. But the fact is, I am so awash in darkness and ignorance that I don't even realize what I've been claiming is true and false, and whether that is a fact or not. I don't even question it because I'm so caught in this web. And so I need God's help. I need God's help to decide on the truth. What is true, Father? What is true? Oh, Son, I created you like me. I gave you everything. The power of decision is your own. What do you decide? So today we'll look at any decision we've made to refuse the truth of what we are and just release it, and the resistance to the truth of what is, and just release it. Let it go. That too is a decision. Anytime you let go or hold on, that is a decision. You can decide what you value and hold on to, and you can decide what is valueless and you release, you let go of. So let's begin. Lesson 152. The power of decision is my own. This day I will accept myself as what my Father's will created me to be. I will decide heaven, the one decision I must make. And yet I've made so many decisions that seem to be other than that. Could I look at some decision I've made to identify as weak, powerless, to identify as small, insignificant, sinful? Have I made any decision for this? And Father, you tell me this isn't true, though there's this feeling. There's this feeling I've been feeling and all these thoughts that go with it. I now make the decision to surrender this energy, this feeling, this darkness to you, Lord. And could you allow this energy behind the decision for guilt and smallness to be relinquished, just letting that feeling come up, letting it move. The thoughts may pop up, the justifications for this. Could you ignore them and allow this energy just to be surrendered, given up? Could you surrender the frequency, the feeling of smallness, guilt, and sin, powerlessness? You don't have to. Would you release what is false, even if it seemed to be true before? When could you surrender? Give up. Make a decision to turn over. The power of decision is my own. This day I will accept as what myself, as what my Father's will created me to be, like himself in every way. And I accept this in humility. I've made decisions and imagined that I was somehow apart from, separate from my Father's will. And rather than stack guilt and shame on the guilt and shame, could I just notice any decision I've made to be apart from my Father and his will? Any sense that I am sinful, guilty, weak, powerless? How did it feel to make that decision before? To think those thoughts of separation from God? And Could I feel that feeling? Bring it to light. No longer giving it quarter, bringing it up, stirring it up, feeling that feeling behind the decision of the past. And could I let it go? By my own decision, could I let go of this feeling and belief in smallness and separation from God? Would I decide to let this go? I'm free to let it go or not. Would I decide to let go of the guilt, the smallness, the powerlessness, and the illusion I am separate from my Father? When could I let go and accept atonement, accept my Father's will for me? The power of decision is my own. This day I will accept myself as what my Father's will created me to be. Holy in my function, divine in my light. And in the past, what could have blinded me from this holy function and light that I am? But a decision I made in ignorance or error. Where in the past did I decide that I was weak, that I was dark, that I was powerless, helpless, a sinner, separate from my Father, from God? And how did that feel? Could I allow that feeling up now? That energy that would have me think insanely. All these thoughts. Could I ignore the thoughts and just feel that feeling? Feel it just for now. Let it up. Let it be enlightened. There's nothing to fear. It's just a feeling. Could I feel the feeling behind insanity and illusion about what I am and the decisions I made from that place? Could I feel it? Could I allow it? Could I let it up? Could I decide to release this feeling? It's just a choice. Would I release this feeling? When could I release this feeling and accept myself as what my Father created, like Himself? The power of decision is my own. This day I will accept myself as what my Father's will created me to be. And Perhaps I have been resistant to humbly and gratefully accepting the power that is given me to decide on love, all encompassing. Is there any resisting or refusing the power of truth, being at one with God? Thy will, his will being done in me. Is there any resisting that, refusing it, denying it? It's okay. It's quite common. Could I allow it up? Allow that darkness, that ignorance, that energy to be enlightened, to lighten up and humbly accept my Father's will? Could I release this resistance to the will of God, the life of God in me? When could I release resisting the truth? There's no rush, there's no force. The power of decision is your own. You get to decide. And so, since the power of decision is your own, has there been any resistance to deciding to accept yourself as divinity, as holy, as the salvation of the world, as the light of God? Can you notice any resistance to deciding, accepting the truth of your Father's will for you? Heaven, here and now, the one decision. Is there any resistance to deciding on heaven, atonement, enlightenment, and being that gift in the world? It's okay. Could you allow any energy that's coming up, any feeling, any resistance to deciding on the truth, the only thing that is? Could you let that block, that darkness, that energy up, really resist? Go ahead. Let it up. Resist the truth of what you are, Holy Son of God. Run that out. Bring it to light. And could you make a decision to let that go or not? It's your choice. Let go of that resistance. Would you decide to let it go or not? Let go of resisting the truth of your divine inheritance? You decide when to let go or not. The power of decision is your own. This day, will you accept yourself as what your Father's will created you to be? What am I really deciding on? What are you really deciding on? Perhaps you don't know. How could I decide? I don't know. It seems like that. Well, could you appeal? Could you open? Could you allow your Father, the Holy Spirit, the Christ in you, to reveal to you what it is that you decide upon now? Father, show me the decision I must make. What do I have in truth? If I let my illusions go, my smallness go, what will replace it? What is there? And could you decide to be shown the truth of what you are when you let go of what you are not? Could you open and allow the truth to fill your mind, holding in mind only what you think with God, the Holy Spirit, the Christ? It's just a choice. What do you decide? Will you accept your Father's will for you? What He shows you, what He gives you, what He's already given you? Will you accept heaven? The power of decision is your own. You will have many opportunities to decide today. If there's any doubt about what you are choosing, could you simply ask to be reminded, to be shown the one choice you must make? Have the best day. Thanks for being here.